welcome to another edition of Struttin and Ruttin with Hoosier Hardwoods Outdoors. Glad to be back in the studio. It's been 2 weeks since the last time we were in here. Not really much is going on as far as what the last 2 weeks have held. A little bit of shed hunting going on.
Yep.
Striking out like usual.
Not me, bud.
I know you found what, 2?
I found 3 sheds and
3
a dead
sheds.
head, yeah.
And then Jared's found 1.
Yep.
Me and Dakota's walked
Bunches
6,000 miles and ain't found a single one yet. But it's all right.
6,000 miles. You walked about a half mile with me Saturday morning. Was done.
It was like 6,000 steps on my phone. I checked when I got home. But yeah, well, I mean, we're gonna stay after shed hunting for a little while until the squirrels eat them all up. But
yeah, pretty much.
One thing we wanted to cover tonight: food plotting. I know right now is a big time for frost seeding. We left the house early to come over here, and Josh had sent me a bunch of stuff for frost seeding information. A lot of it was for the Pennington Wildlife food plot seed, which we've used Pennington on and off over the last couple of years. Pennington makes a really, really good seed. But the thing is about frost seeding, so it's an easy way to do it. You know, obviously with the ground being froze right now on and off, best thing to do is just broadcast it, let it set. The ground will easy way to do it naturally, take the seed in, and then especially clover, chicory, that type stuff, it really take off. It's an easy way to plant it.
Yeah.
A little bit different than like your fall time plots and stuff where you work the
gotta do
ground
soil
up.
work,
And,
yep.
Yeah,
I've never done frost seed. Have you ever?
I've done it one time.
I've never done it
one time, and done it with clover. Well, I mean it's been a long time ago, and it works really good.
Yeah.
It's definitely. You don't need the equipment like you do. In
Yeah.
fall time plots.
I haven't done it personally, but I went whenever I was working with Landon Roberts and him, and he'd done a plot where he frost seeded, and I was actually kind of blown away at how well it come in without doing the dirt work and disking and stuff like that.
Right.
I was pretty impressed with how it come in.
Clover and chicory is a huge tool, especially in the springtime.
Yeah.
Before stuff really starts taking off the crop fields and stuff like that for the deer to get their nutrition. They'll hammer those.
That's a good thing too about like clover. I mean, it's going to be there all year too.
Right.
So I mean.
And I don't remember, was it Bill that shared his video the other day
Bill
where he was frost seeding?
Yeah.
And he said that the turkeys really, really enjoy the crimson red clover and chicory. So he said it helps with turkeys too.
I mean, just to pick your guys' brains, I mean, I know we talk about a lot and stuff, but there's so many different variables to food plots. And this is one thing that I want people to understand is you don't have to have 10, 15 acres to establish a food plot.
No.
Yeah.
Sometimes those little quarter-acre to half-acre plots, if you manage them right, they can be crucial when it comes to early season, whitetail hunting in the fall, or like you was talking about, them turkeys, if them hens go in there and eat some of that clover, and then them toms are looking for some hens, and it could just be a half acre. It doesn't have to be 10, 15 acres.
Yeah, and it really don't have to be a half acre.
No.
I think I planted, that one I planted this year, it was in the middle of the woods. And my main deal that I was using it for was just if deer was using it as a travel corridor, they're going to stop in it just enough time to give me a shot, to mill around and get a shot on one.
But that plot there probably wasn't quarter acre, was it?
No, heck, it was.
It's probably about only 1/8 an acre.
30, 40 yards wide by 20 yards wide.
Yeah.
So,
but it was perfect.
Yeah.
And that was actually, so you had your plot, right, and then there was probably, 50, 60 yards of wood, you think? How far was it to?
Probably something like that to the crop field.
To the crop field.
Yeah.
So that's perfect for them to come in there and get them something to eat.
Just
staging before they go to the big fields.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Isn't that's the stand that you harvest your buck out of?
No, I harvested that deer I shot this year out of my brother's stand on the alfalfa field.
On the alfalfa field. That's right.
But
yeah, it's like back behind the house. I haven't done it yet, but I plan to this year is put a little food plot in back there behind the house on that ATV trail. Which I mean, it's not anything huge, but it's between where I'm going to put that at. It's another 75 to 100 yards, and there's a big crop field there. So
logging roads, ATV pass, anything like that. take advantage of it if you can.
Yeah.
If it's not something that you or the farmer's using all the time, take advantage of it and plant something in there.
Yeah.
Well, and another thing is to make sure you have enough ambient light. You've got enough good lighting source to the sun to get in there, and
Right.
That's like with mine. I put one real close to the same spot there a few years ago before they logged that woods. I put one in there, and I spent, I don't know, I think it was like $150. I was like, man, it's going to be a good one. I put it in there, and only half of it grew, where it was like half in the sunlight. I'm like, I just wasted so much money on this. But like I said, that's,
One thing going into, I don't want to jump too far forward, but like fall food plots. One thing, and this is weird too, but one thing I've never really got into as far as the farm that we hunt and where we put our food plots is, so we gambled, right? So we got some seed and thought, okay, we're going to try this and see what happens. But soil samples for your food plots.
Yeah.
We did not take any soil samples. We gambled. We had the farmer. He had a 3-point disc. He went in there, tore it up. We planted it. All right, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, we was only planting about a half acre or so, a little over half acre. So we were out 1 bag of seed.
Yeah.
But if you're going to plant more than that, like if you're going to get into those 5, 10, 15 acres, make sure you invest the money or whatever to get a good soil sample to understand what your soil needs. Because if you're going to throw hundreds of dollars of seeds on it, that's a huge difference.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I always, in the fall, soil samples is a huge thing.
Yeah,
and it's not that hard to do.
No. I mean, get a trash bag and get you a little bit of soil, and it's...
Well, I know
for
they
investment, I mean, it's
they actually make a thing that it takes like plugs.
Yeah.
You just pull the grass back, and then you just take it and it plugs it, and you pull out, and it's just like a little little plug.
A core sample or something.
Yeah. And if you talk to anybody, like your local extension office or whatever, I mean, they'll help you out a ton with what to look for, how to pull a sample. I know our extension office in Washington County will actually give you the bags and everything to do it with.
Yeah.
So, well, and I'm pretty fortunate with having my Uncle Phil, who owns a fertilizer plant there, in town. All I got to do is take him a couple samples. He'll send them off, and then he'll let me know, what we need to do with the ground or whatever.
So if anybody needs a soil sample sent in, I will give you Dakota's phone number. But if you're going to invest that, man, I mean, do the soil sample.
Yeah.
Take the time to invest the time to do that, so you're not throwing hundreds of dollars away.
Yeah,
definitely. Bill brought up, he brought up a pretty good point. Make sure to plant at the right time. Make sure, which he planted oats before September. So I mean, there's a chance you take, try to get a planting chart. I need to put this in at this time, this in at that time.
Right. I will say that Dave Barrett, I looked at on his page last fall, and he done a real world plot, which he's a big real world user, but they had one plot that was planted like 2 weeks before the other one, and it's amazing the difference in those two plots. Same exact seed, everything.
Yeah.
But it's amazing the difference in them two plots just because of the timing.
Yeah.
Timing, weather, I mean, it plays a huge part in, going back to the soil sample. I mean, if you put the time in the soil sample and you throw your seed down, don't plant it when there's 2.5 weeks of rain coming, because it's just going to beat it in the ground and you ain't going to get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
Don't plant it if they're not going to get any rain for 2.5 weeks, because it's just going to burn up.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that you got to pay attention to get your stuff to grow right. Now, will it grow? I mean, something will probably come up.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get the benefits out of it.
Yeah, you're not going to get what you want it to become.
Right.
But as far as like late season, I know you planted a good sized plot this year. Well, what was it, 1/4 acre, half acre?
Yeah, it was a half acre. We planted two. We planted a half acre. We planted 2 half acres. A half acre up front in the front part of the farm, then a half acre of oats in the back, and then at a 1/4 acre of the same stuff that we planted up front, which we used Real World Diddly Dozen in the front, and then we done a 1/4 acre of Real World Diddly Dozen in the back, and then we used oats in the front.
Yeah.
I don't know. They hit the Daily Dozen a lot more than it did the oats, which that was the first time we'd ever planted oats there. And the back food plot's a little bit different. It's a cool spot because it's completely surrounded by woods. There's no openings. It's just completely surrounded. But they don't hit that spot near as much as we had anticipated when we first started putting food plots out there. Now, the small food plot is a U shape But on the back side of that U shape, there's a logging road that goes into like 3 or 4 fingers of hills back there. So it's easy access for them to come in, get something to eat, and then get right back out.
Yeah.
So, what did you didn't plant anything last year, did you? Because
just that small plot.
Yeah, that's right.
That little patch plot.
But
But it was just throw and grow. Just something that I didn't want to go in and spend a lot of money.
Right.
And I wanted to make sure it would grow, so I just done regular throw and grow, and then I think I bought. It was just another cheap deal with radishes and stuff in, but I don't think they ever come up because I just hand broadcasted it, and normally with radishes and stuff, you need to kind of space out seed plants.
But then you had alfalfa, your dad's hayfield,
corn,
and then corn.
Yeah.
Did you have any beans on you this year? Did you?
No, that'll be this year will be beans.
Yeah, that's
and then you had corn.
Yeah, I had corn
to the south of you.
Yeah.
But then that's about because
that's all I had.
You had beans up the road, but
yeah,
it was
quarter
mile up the road.
But they did help out and got the corn picked pretty early.
Well, the buck that you actually had on camera all fall,
the
neighbor ended up harvesting him down the
both
road.
of the big ones that I was going after, they killed them the same day.
Yep, down there on Marlon's place.
Yeah. That was kind of sad.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Which Bill's talking about sunflowers and, producing protein, but I haven't ever really had any good luck with sunflowers. I mean, even in a garden. I know they're good, but I just feel like they're kind of an invasive. You know what I mean?
Now, it depends on, like sunflowers, I guess, would be for multi-species.
Yeah, well, I would think mainly birds.
That's what John said. He goes, dove, deer, and turkey will tear them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once the seeds start falling.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've never seen anybody put them.
Now, is that like big league, like range flavor, olive pickle, or whatever it is?
No, it's the Taco Bell flavor.
Taco Bell
Supreme,
flavor.
bud.
But I mean, I guess this is just me asking the question because I'm not really 100% sure. But if any of the people watching can answer this question, as far as like your sunflowers go, like how thick do sunflowers get? Like your actual plants? I mean, are they sporadic or are they?
See,
I've never planted sunflowers.
I don't know if you I would not think you would broadcast sunflower seeds just because they would be so close together. It'd be like a jungle. You know what I mean?
Well, when you plant them, like whatever mix it's in, like wonder how thick does the sunflower seeds or plants come up?
Yeah. I don't know.
Hopefully somebody will bring. But I guess what I'm getting at is, is that like a cover for the animal?
Yeah. Well, I know. Seth Morrow, a boy that I grew up with, he done Milo there a couple of years in a row, and not really a big plot, but he never really had it produce much deer activity. He had a lot of birds and rabbits and stuff in it, but really the deer, I mean, they would come in there and mill through it, but it wasn't like a holding point.
I'll tell you what they use Milo for lots, bedding.
Yeah.
Because they can get down in them Milo plants and I mean, the only thing you might see is like a tip of an ear or whatever.
Yeah.
John says he has a planter. He said, but some do throw them.
Okay. How thick does it get? So, like, are the sunflowers, the plants themselves, not the seeds, but the plants?
Yeah.
Are they sporadic plants or are they like
right on top of each other?
Right on top of each other.
Which, I mean, my opinion, I would say if you broadcasted them, they would be on top of each other. But if you could actually plant them,
if you plant them, it would be
just like a little one row planter, even a push behind or walk behind or whatever, But
okay,
you said the deer bed in them too.
Yep, that's what. I was.
Yeah, I've never dabbled in anything like that with sunflower.
Might be something we're trying though.
Yeah,
I'm up for
a shot.
Yeah. So anyway, as far as food plotting goes, and I know, that's we can talk a lot about food plotting. I know we will. The guy that owns the property that we hunt he has frost seeded some clover, so we're gonna try that this year in some of our spots that we don't typically till up or disc up. So we're gonna try that because he wanted to add some more clover to his cow pastures.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's gonna be a plus for us. And I offered. I was like, I'll help you. He goes, no, I'll take care of it. I was like, sweet. Get her done.
Bill said he's going to try rye this year too, which I've never.
I've heard a lot of people have luck with rye.
Yeah.
I've not planted it. But.
Rye is similar to an oat. plant correct.
Yep.
Kind of like wheat and whatever.
Right.
That's what I thought.
And then I think me and Peyton's going to try to get there behind his house, like he was saying, and plant something in them ATV plots just to give them something.
Yeah.
Which you'll have beans south of.
Yeah, I'll have beans back here behind me now. So I mean, it'll help me.
Early season.
Yeah, early season.
Y'all tried Little Debbie food plots yet?
Man, them things are hard to plant.
Well,
you gotta get poso diggers out.
You got to try to get Matt out of the plot first
to be able to
seed it.
I was gonna say, like, you would ever have enough time to get one planted before you ate them.
Well, have you ever seen, like, when you plant grass seed in your yard, how quick the birds show up?
Yeah, that's Matt with Little Debbie.
So if you're going to plant Little Debbie, you got to put straw over top.
Cover them up.
All right, Bill, are you talking about the rye as a sweeter tasting plant or the Little Debbie?
I would say he's talking about the rye.
Yeah, I think so.
I think rye would probably be a sweeter tasting than like oats or something, I would think.
Yeah, you got to plant some and try it.
I can.
Well, I know.
We got spot backer in the back. It's not.
I'm talking about like you try it.
Dad.
Oh, I ain't going to try it.
When we mowed, we planted oats and something else kind of as a cover crop one year before we planted like alfalfa seed. And we mowed it for hay, and Dad, I was like, can you eat that? You know, of course, talking about oats and stuff. He's like, yeah, get off and get you some. And, of course, it's just a little bitty seed, but it didn't have a bad flavor to it. I mean, I wouldn't want to sit and eat on them all day, but, I mean, it wasn't terrible, just eating the oats. But, no, I don't know about rye. Maybe the Little Debbie. But
I don't want to try it. All right, so what's going on with turkey season, boys? Are we fired? I'm ready.
I'm ready, bud.
I've seen a bunch of birds, and I say a bunch of birds. I've seen birds strutting in the mornings and stuff, evenings coming home.
Oh, you sent that Snapchat video to me.
It aggravated me. I was going to work one night, which I think I sent it to you too. But I was going to work, and I had seen these birds 3 or 4 times. I've seen them one morning. All 3 of them was strutting, and what I think they're just 2-year-old birds. They're younger birds.
Yeah.
Right.
But I drove by them one morning. They're out there all puffed up strutting, and then I come by one evening, and they're just milling around, and I'm like, I'm going to hunt here. I don't know whose it is, but I'm hunting here. And that's what me and Peyton was talking about. But
when the snow finally went away, and then we started getting some of those 50-degree days.
That's what I got. I got that long beard on trail camera, and it got me.
I was ready.
It got me excited.
Joe and I will be heading to Florida, not this coming Thursday, but the following Thursday. We're going there for a couple days hunting Osceolas, so that's going to get us started. Then we come back, and then 3 weeks later, we'll all be headed to Kansas.
Yep.
And then we get back there, we're going to hit Indiana pretty hard. So we're going to have fun.
Yeah, because Indiana season comes in 3 days after we get back from Kansas, so
it's going to be.
It's getting ready to get wild.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Bust some in the face, man. I'm ready.
It's going to be fun.
Well, and I've noticed too, and I don't know what you guys think, but which I know a guy just commented. Well, John said turkeys are out in the forest right now. I think turkey population numbers are way down compared to 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I think so too.
Which, I mean,
there's a lot of, in my opinion, there's a lot of factors into that.
Yeah.
Well, that's like, I remember like it was yesterday. Me and my mom had went deer hunting in the fall. I don't know. I was probably 10 or 11 maybe. She was sitting in the blind with me on the food plot that my brother-in-law put in. We was deer hunting, of course. And the food plot's set up to where there's an old, well, it's not there anymore because they had it logged and Andrew had it all cleared out. But you got this trail that came up to the big food plot. And then there was an old logging road that went straight out the back to the pipeline that cut right down the middle of the property. And I kid you not, it was like a scene out of a scary movie. I just look over in this logging road. Here come like 30 turkeys just running right at us. Scared the crap out of me. But, I mean, just talking about numbers, I haven't seen any more than 5 out in the field at a time, and that's stretching it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors that play into that. I mean, with bobcat populations up. And,
that's
that's like there's a lot of stuff that plays a role in it.
That's just like, I mean, even with the deer population, like what I'm running into back behind the house. I went shed hunting back behind the house, and I found 3 dead deer on top of each other pretty much.
Yeah, you called me as soon as you found them. You're like, what?
So I don't know if it's a bobcat or a
Black Panther.
I don't know if there's some kind of devil worshiper person back there.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Something's
it is.
going on.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's honestly kind of creepy. I mean,
He put his. So here's the thing. He's on the phone with me, and he decides that he's going to put his reveal down there. I'm like, this is going to be epic. So he's going to be sitting there, and his phone's going to go off, and it's going to be a text message. There's either going to be like a devil worshiper staring at him, or
something.
Big cougars.
Man,
Bill,
and the funny thing is, this is the same time that Maddie's on vacation.
yeah. So I'm
So
at
Peyton's
home
home
by
by
myself. So I'm scared. And then I ain't gonna get in that story. That was just creepy.
So
That
Bill,
That lady down the road.
Bill asked, "What's everyone's go-to call? Mouth call, box, or what?" So my opinion is, I use the box call to kind of locate, because it's a little louder. You can get a higher volume call out of it. Mouth call, obviously, if they're right on top of you, and then I run slate or glass, kind of in that medium range, which is what we done with Addie's bird last year. But
I prefer slate call.
Yeah, I like running the slate call. I mean, I feel like you can really. I mean, it's all in the way you pretty much cup your hand on the back of the call too.
Make it sound.
So I mean, if you got your hand open more, where the sound can get out.
And it seems like a pot call is something you got more control over.
Yeah.
I mean, I know mouth call. Once you get a mouth call down, mouth call is not that hard to use, but it's like there's room for error there. I guess. I mean, if your pot call is conditioned the way it's supposed to be, I mean, you can really.
Oh yeah, you can rip on it.
Yeah.
Well, and that too, everybody thinks that a hen yelping, or she doesn't ever make a mistake. Sometimes you'll hear a hen yelp or clucking and purring, and you're like, "What in the world was that?"
It sounds like if you put a mouth call in, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah,
for
you
the first
mess
time.
up.
Yeah.
But I know, like I said, sometimes we've gotten a bird struck up on actually just messing around and doing goofy stuff with a call. Right. I mean, it's kind of like anybody else. Nobody sounds perfect, but
you definitely have to have a bag of tricks in your bag.
Yeah.
You got to have a hooter. You got to have crow call. I'm the type of person, I think you need as many tools as you can get. Now, Corey Holman, I know I've talked to him several times, and there's certain mouth calls that he will not use, and there's certain mouth calls that
that's all he uses.
That's all he uses.
Yeah,
and that's what I bought. Sunday we went to Clarksville and went to Bass Pro. I was gonna get some boots for turkey season and everything, and I bought one of those Woodhaven mouth calls. I'm like, I've seen the hunting public use them. I'm gonna get one of these suckers and try it. By far, one of the easiest and best sounding mouth calls I think I've ever owned.
Yeah,
Corey's a big zinc guy.
Which really, I'm HS Strut. Some of theirs aren't bad.
Yeah.
Or Primos, even some of the Primos mouth calls,
right.
they're not bad. It all just depends on what the ease of use is for you. Which
everybody's mouth's different. I mean, that's the key.
A guy asked, "What's the first thing a brand new hunter needs to focus on?" I'm assuming turkey hunting.
Get out there and pretty much fail.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
not
what
to
it boils down to.
not to like Debbie Downer or nothing, but which I don't know if he's talking about calls too, but
yeah, you just
main thing like when I first started turkey hunting, the main thing I picked up was a box call.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The ease of use, you can't really mess up with a box call. I mean, you can obviously, whenever you're clucking, you can obviously do it at too high of a pitch and make it sound like, a startled bird.
Yeah.
But that's really about the easiest one to pick up right off the get-go. And then, I know they make the mouth calls that's got that hood on them.
Yeah.
They're the smaller ones that kind of like the starter of mouth calls.
Right.
But once I switched to it and I got used to it, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
But I would say box call, slate call, then, if you feel like you want to tackle mouth calls, move on
That's
to
like
mouth.
whenever it starts getting ever since the new year started, I've pretty much kept a mouth call at work with me. 10 minutes a day, I'll throw it in my mouth and just
keep
just practice with it. Annoy everybody at work, but I don't really
And the other
care.
thing I'll add to his question, off the call subject is patience. I mean, give yourself time. Like, don't think that you have to go after that bird 100 mile an hour, or like Peyton was saying, you're going to fail a lot in order for you to figure out, I need to do this, or I need to use this call at this time, or whatever. Don't be scared to fail. That's the biggest key.
Don't overcall. I have to
Go
tell myself.
Go to our YouTube channel and watch Addie's youth season last year and listen to Dakota's calling. Do not do that.
So, and that's the reason why I brought it up, because it's a good point. it's very, very easy to get roped in to overcalling, getting that bird to gobble back at you.
Yeah.
Right.
It's very, very easy to do.
Yes.
Yep.
But you have to get yourself to that point where, all right, maybe I'll cluck and purr a couple times and then I'll shut up for 5 minutes.
Right.
And make him,
Make him want to come to you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like if you call for a little bit and he's gobbling at you and he's continuously gobbling to your call, just be quiet for 5-10 minutes.
Right.
Let him come for a little, because more than likely if he's not gobbling, he's either coming or he's going away.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's luck of the draw, but I mean, more times than not, if they shut up after you've called for a little bit, they're going to come to you.
Right.
Yeah.
So let him walk for 10 minutes or so, and if he doesn't gobble, call just a little bit soft, and then if he hits, then he's more than likely going to be closer to you.
But yeah, that's where I wanted to pick on myself a little bit, because I know and knew it at the time and kicking myself in the butt.
Well, we didn't really notice it till after the fact when we watched the footage. I mean, that's
in the heat of the moment, it's very, like I said, it's
Yes.
very easy to overcall. Very easy to.
Another thing too, when you're turkey hunting, there's nothing like hearing a turkey gobble.
Oh,
no.
The more you call, the more he gobbles.
Well,
It's awesome.
So the storyline behind that hunt, we went the night before. It was misty, rain, windy, nasty night, and I was like, Matt, you don't have any birds here. Well, then we was like, oh, let's go out on a limb, go here, opening morning. We get there, and it sounds like we're walking into a turkey barn. Just, literally gobbling everywhere.
It's a Saturday morning of youth season, and Addie's never even been turkey hunting. And I told her, I was like, sis, I said, I don't know if there's even any birds here. That's what I told her the night before.
Yeah.
And we got out of the truck, and me and Dakota counted 9 toms gobbling on the roost. And Addie's eyes were the size of golf balls, and she's like,
yeah.
I'm like, get your stuff on.
Yeah, I'm like, this is
we gotta
nuts.
go.
This is nuts.
Yeah.
But
going back to what Dakota was saying, one thing too as a new turkey hunter, when you're sitting there calling and you finally get your calling figured out, and that Tom's sitting there and just hammering every time you're calling, as a new turkey hunter, man, that's like,
you're
pumps
pumped
you
up.
So last year when Addie was, youth hunting, Dakota's behind me running the call, and I'm running the camera, and then I'm filming a first-time hunter.
Yeah.
So I don't pay attention to his calling because, dude, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
This is her first turkey hunt. We got birds gobbling.
Yeah.
They're coming. We know they're coming to us. I'm like, I'm to the point where I'm sitting here filming like, I don't care. Just keep calling. I don't care, But then looking back on it, you learn from it. But I wanted that bird to come across that log and get in her lap so bad.
Yeah.
Because it was an experience for her. That's the first time she's ever been 15 yards from the turkey when he's gobbled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make your heart
Oh,
jump
yeah.
out of your chest.
Well, and it's one of those deals that whenever we got out, we was like, which one do we go after?
Right.
I mean, at the time, we was hearing so much, and then we got to that field edge there, and I hoot out. We was like, yep, these birds over here is the ones we're going after.
I'll tell you something else too, for especially the Indiana season too. Sometimes Indiana comes in late.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it comes in a little bit later than what it should. So sometimes your toms are already henned up. But as a new hunter too, don't get frustrated, because that's what happened to us.
Yeah.
These 2 birds come in, Addie misses, and then it's like, okay, we need to go get on another one, but they're 150 yards on the neighbor's property.
Yeah.
Well, at this time it's 10:30. Them toms have already found hens, and there was no.
Yeah.
Just don't get frustrated with that type of stuff,
Well, and you never know when that bird's going to break.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, 2 years ago, I was hunting at the house, in prime example. Birds would gobble on the roost. I tried making a move, and then they shut up. I mean, there wasn't nothing I could do.
Yeah.
And I walked my dad's ridge 3 times, back and forth, back and forth. The third time, I was getting ready to cross over the neighbors, which I had permission to be on, and I heard a bird gobble. And it was like, all I done was yelp with a mouth call, and he was in my lap within, felt like 10 seconds. But it's that fast that they can break and be right on you.
I think that's the fun of turkey hunting.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah.
That's like
cat and mouse.
last year when I was on those 3 toms that I just couldn't figure out for whatever reason. Every time they would fly down, it seemed like the hens weren't roosted but 100 yards from them, and as soon as they landed, they were done. And we were hunting these birds that were out in this field. There wasn't no way to get to them, and I was like, man, there's no point. Like, we can't do this.
Right.
The tom hadn't gobbled at all. We're walking down this fence row, and we're like 30 yards into the woods, and this tom gobbles, and it sounds like he's 20 yards from us. I mean, he hadn't gobbled all morning. Didn't gobble on the roost because we would have heard him. We was parked right next to where he probably was roosted at.
Right.
And he never gobbled, and it just happened. Like you just gotta be ready for it.
I think elk hunting would be a lot like turkey hunting.
Yeah.
I think it would too.
I mean, because you're a lot more vocal with, with elk
Yeah.
than what you ever are anything else.
That's on the bucket list.
My bow.
I'm thinking next year, bud.
Actually, I'm probably going to lean towards next year too.
I've actually found out in the last month or so I got family members that live out in Wyoming.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I didn't. I've been talking to my mom about going elk hunting out there all the time, and turns out her second cousin, I think, lives out there.
You haven't filled us in on this yet because
I told you about this like 2 months ago.
No,
he's too good. He's too good for us, man.
You need to call with dates. You need to get Ruben board set up.
Which I know. Talking about that, though,
call him right now.
I ain't got his phone number.
I do know some states will not sell over-the-counter tags.
No, Wyoming is a draw-only state in certain zones, I believe. I know in Colorado you can get over-the-counter tags in certain zones.
Yeah.
So that's probably will end up be where I go because.
Now Montana the same.
Yeah.
You can buy over-the-counter tags.
I'm pretty positive, but I'm pretty sure Wyoming is one of the main, only draw states throughout the whole state. I think. I'm not 100% sure on that.
There's a lot to read up on that.
Yeah.
But I'm with Dakota. If I ever go out there and I'm hunting big game, I think it's stick and string is the way to go.
Oh, yeah.
If you can get him bugling like a turkey does 15, 20 yards from you.
Yeah, I don't know that I could pull a bow back. I'd just be in awe.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Oh, yeah.
John's saying better do it quick. Non-resident prices are going up. Is what he's
Yeah,
heard.
non-resident prices are going up everywhere for everything.
Yeah.
I have noticed that. Like I know that Tennessee, when we go down Tennessee for our deer hunt, I think they raised the prices a little bit on those for the non-resident.
Did they?
Yeah. Not a whole lot, but I still think it was $35, $40.
Kansas was $190.
Yeah, $180.
That's for two. That's for two bird tags.
Yeah, that's for your two
then
turkeys.
Florida was right around $200 too.
Yeah.
John says Colorado go around the Black Mesa Reservoir.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of that.
I've never heard of it. I screenshot it so I wouldn't forget.
There you go.
Well,
waypoint that.
Yeah.
What about fishing? Anybody done any fishing yet?
No, but we're getting ready to.
Yep.
I got the boat about ready to go. I got all my fishing poles restrung. Went down to Woo-Haul down in Clarksville. I don't know. I mean, I think I've said on here before, but if anybody's down around the Clarks or the Sellersburg area, stop into that Woo-Haul fishing place. It's right there behind. It's right across from the JC store, behind the gas station. The guy that owns the place is super nice, but he's got a great selection of not head tackle.
Got a bunch of stuff.
In there. So and one man running business, and I think now he's doing what's it called, Friday Night Anglers or something like that. Where he brings in, he brings in like different people from like different species of fishing, and they're in there for 2 or 3 hours, and you go in there and ask questions and talk to them. And I know Rick Zedrick was in there for not head tackle. He was in there, or pro staff for not head tackle. He was in there last Friday night, I think, talking about crappie fishing.
Yeah.
There's two boys down there. They're entrepreneurs. They're only like 18, 19 years old, or in high school or something, but they come up with this. I think it's called Southern Indiana Bait Company or Southern Indiana something, but they're making swim baits now, and they're selling them like crazy. Do you know anything about that? Maybe they're not from James County. I can't remember where they're from, but anyway, they're might be from Salem. I don't know, but they're selling those swim baits, and they're doing really really good because they come in there and ask him, or they ask him if they can put some in there, and he said they're so great. So. But yeah, I'm ready to hit some. I mean, I'm a big pan fisherman. Bluegill, crappie, that's my style of fishing.
Yep.
I don't mind the bass fish, but
I'm a bass man. I love it.
I like to find that school.
I like throwing that worm out there and watching that bobber.
I like fishing.
I like throwing that topwater frog in a slough spot, reeling that in, and just having one hit it. There ain't
you start getting them, female bass up on the beds and male bass. I mean.
Yeah,
you run topwater across there and they hit it. They're in.
I'm telling you,
nice.
You get pumped.
Buzz baits, frogs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I love fishing top water fishing bass, but rest of the time I'm there paying fish for bluegill or crappie. Yeah.
Well,
nothing like getting a big old basket full and frying them up.
Oh yeah.
I usually just have 2 poles. I'll throw one out with my bobber, and then I'll have my bass pole.
There you go.
Try to pay attention to both.
Stay busy.
Yeah.
Which I know a lot of people that catfish. I say I don't have the patience for it because I do, but catfishing is one of those things that you can cast out there and you can wait for however long and never truly catch anything. At least with, bass fishing or crappie, you're staying busy.
You're staying busy, but bass fishing is one of those things too, where sometimes if the bass are finicky, I mean you can cast and cast and cast and never get a bite. Paying fish is if you can find a school, and they all stick together. So if one of them's hungry, it seems like they're all hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to do some fishing. Get on the boat and go do some fishing.
Boat's about ready.
Catfishing is best fishing. And to be quite honest, which I don't know how many of our watchers have ever bow fished, but throw all pole fishing aside, I'm telling you right now, you will not find anything get you more pumped up than bow fishing. I'm telling you, it's a blast.
Hone your archery skills too.
Oh man, it's nuts. I didn't go much last year because with working and stuff, new job and everything, but we go down on the Ohio River and we have shot some fish that you have to grab a hold of the next guy who shoots it because he'll rip you off a boat. I mean, it's mind blowing. Which a guy my size, it's not very hard to pull off.
Yeah, that's a crappie.
But we shot. I mean, we've shot big head carp, Asian carp. I mean, you name it, any kind of invasive type species. Right. They really, they obviously really want you to shoot. But of course, no sport fish. You can't shoot. I think it's catfish, bass, any sport fish. I do know you can't shoot. But
now. Along the catfishing, my grandpa, I grew up, my grandpa fishing on the river all the time. I will say, if you start getting into those 20, 25-pound flatheads and stuff, the fight them things put up, that's a blast. But the river's fishy, or tricky fishing.
The river's fishy. You don't say.
It's tricky to fish.
Oh, it is. I mean, you got to know where to go on the river.
Yeah.
It ain't like a pond where you can't just cast halfway across it and
right.
But
no, I mean we're going to start turning the fishing up here for too long.
Well, and I've been talking to a boy, Josh Hazlick. He's from Pekin. They do a lot of not your big bass tournaments. You're just local smaller stuff. And I told him I'd like to get more involved in doing tournaments and stuff too. I think it'd be fun. I mean, just getting out and fishing and
what's that one group tournament thing that we was talking about doing?
That's the Indiana Slab Masters.
No, there was one that they ran at like Celinda and John Hay.
Yeah, it's just a local one.
That's the Southern Indiana Catfish. That's that one they're talking about.
I know they got a catfishing one, but I thought they had like a bass one too. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to it.
I think Mason Fleetwood was part of that deal because they do it like John Hay and Starve Hollow.
That's the catfishing one.
I'll have to look.
Because I know Brent Miller, our sheriff, I know him and his son do that tournament a bunch.
Bass fishing, boys, if you get serious in that,
there's some big money in that.
Yeah. But it's like everything else. If you're going to do, you might as well go full bore.
Might as well.
Why not, right?
If you ain't in all the way, don't do it.
Well, I can tell you, to be quite honest, though, you give me a bait caster, I'll have that bird nested in a heartbeat.
It'll be in the pond before I get done with it. I threw one in the pond last year.
I don't know how people do it.
I can do it.
Well,
it's hard. You just got to keep your thumb on the reel, like on the line, and you got to stop the line before it hits the water. Pretty much. It's
I don't know. I guess 'cause I got a heavy thumb or something, but I tried to do that and it goes like 10 yards and it goes.
My brother just texted me. He said that Southern Indiana Catfishers to get in on it was last weekend, or last Sunday. Too late to get in now. So I don't know if you gotta gotta be a member or anything.
We only got 16 viewers.
Mm-hmm.
People must be in bed
17.
tonight.
We just gained one.
Must be in bed tonight.
Yeah.
Probably.
But weather's getting nicer. People's out working in their gardens. I've seen Van Meter Jay's gardens going.
John Payne. We are having a vet bass tourney on West Boggs.
Where's West Boggs?
West Boggs Lake.
Lagodi.
Yeah, I was going to say that's Lagodi.
Yeah.
It's a great lake.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Nice
You got a bass boat?
You got a boat?
Yeah, but them guys, you ain't gonna keep up with them guys.
Hey, I don't care.
That trolley motor only goes about 2 miles an hour.
I don't give a crap what kind of boat you got.
They're whole shot now.
Hey, I'll fish off a bank and still win, bud.
Easy.
Hey, it's your boat. You're the one that bought the dang thing.
What?
Whatever. Be quiet.
Well, let's just all go in. Let's just all go in on a bass boat down there at Bass Pro.
Let's do it.
Pull one brand new one out there.
Yeah. That's what he was trying to do, but his wife
I
wouldn't
was
let
gonna
him.
say every one of our wives would hang
My
us.
wife wasn't having it. I mean, she was fine with it, but then the list of stuff that she told me I had to sell to get it, it just wasn't working out.
Yeah, just not equaling out.
Yeah, it wasn't working
Yeah,
out.
I don't know why they just don't just let us add to it instead of have to sell stuff to get something else.
That's what I don't understand either.
Yeah, but then they can put stuff in the house and keep buying more and more
Exactly.
stuff.
So
for
should
the
they
house.
have to sell a pair of shoes to get a pair of shoes?
Exactly.
Yes. That's never going to happen.
No.
Hey, boys, be real careful.
Yeah, we're going down the wrong path here.
I don't have the bleep button to cut you guys out. Remember, your significant others are at home right now. You've got to drive home. There may be bows, guns,
In the yard.
four-wheelers on Facebook Marketplace for great deals as soon as this podcast is over.
Happy
So,
wife, happy life.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And in case my wife's listening, you're wonderful, and I'm glad you let me do everything I do, Callie.
Right? Did you record before the show then? Because we didn't let her listen to that.
But no,
Anyway.
that's. We got to looking at one down there at Bass Pro. It was a while back. Me and a buddy was down there, and just how far bass boats have come.
It's
even
amazing.
even 5 to 10 years ago. You know, your storage, your motors, your trolley motors. I mean, everything is completely.
Tyler Feaster from Pride, I was talking to him the other day, and he bought the new Live Scope, Garmin Live Scope, and it's just amazing the technology. I mean, that's you can buy that whole unit with the viewfinder thing for like $2,500, but when you can sit there and see where every bit of the fish is swimming, where your bait's at,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Which isn't that what you guys had down there?
yeah,
when
down
you
in
went
Alabama, yeah.
to Ice Lake?
I mean, you just sit there and watch your jig drop down, and then
Which
here
I
comes
That's
the
like a
fish.
video
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's so nice.
I think
Worth
you ought to
every bit.
buy that.
You think? Yeah,
Put that on your jumbo.
yeah.
Hey,
He's gonna have.
I bet we could slay the crap out of some crappie though.
You think I'd get permission faster to buy a Live Scope than I would the brand new boat? I think so.
Yeah, it's cheaper.
Shoot her a message.
I'll talk to her when I get home.
Yeah, we won't talk
She'll
to
be half
Matt for
asleep.
about 6 months.
Yeah.
She'll be half asleep. I'll just tell her I'm gonna get it. See what she says.
I'll see you during deer season, bud.
Yeah.
See, the game you play is
8:45.
you got to play it out like, hey, I really want a brand new Ranger bass boat. So you get them thinking, oh my gosh, he's set on this, he's going to do it. And you let it simmer for 2 or 3 weeks. And then you come home and you're like, you know what? I thought about it. And I found this bass tracker that's only about $10,000 less. And this is really going to be what I need. They'll bite every time.
You think so?
Hi, Callie.
That's like one of those things on TikTok where it's the guy's on the phone with his wife. He goes, "Hey, you remember when we got pregnant? And you said we got pregnant?" And she'll be like, "Yeah." And he'll go, "Well, we just bought blah blah blah."
Yeah, we just bought a new tractor. I think it's a
Yeah.
new tractor. I
So
think
you
I've
mean
seen
to
that
tell
one
me
too.
I could have had a lot more expensive microphone than what I got? No.
Yeah, that's pretty good. What are you doing over there?
I'm gonna get our sponsors list, go through them,
Oh,
because
okay.
we have to thank them for this episode. I'm gonna go through the sponsor list, and thanks to each one of these sponsors for helping us do what we do. I do know I'm gonna start off with Titan Tint Graphics, because Nick at Titan Tint Graphics, they have opened up, they're in process of opening up a new building in Salem. It's going to be behind Walgreens and
Oh,
still
so,
video
yeah.
store. So they are actually doing tint graphics, and they also have a full detail business now.
Yep.
So I wanted to throw that out there for them. So if you're in the Salem area, Washington County area, and you're looking for tint graphics or auto detailing, get a hold of Titan Tint and Graphics. Gilpin Electric, for any electrical needs, get a hold of Gilpin Electric. Tommy Taylor Insurance. Green's Auto Sales in Salem, right across from Wendy's. Justin's a great guy. He has a lot of good used car sales or good used cars in there for sale. Knothead Tackle Company out of Seymour. They just released a weedless jig here a couple weeks ago, so it's pretty big for them guys. Excel Deer Mineral. I know we've got our mineral sites going now. Get a hold of Josh Sheldon Moore and Underwood. Solutions Directional Drilling. Pride Outdoor Network. I did talk to Tyler today. Our official website is up and rolling now. It's hhoutdoorstv.com. Get there and check it out. It's got team photo and
it's got all our links to YouTube, Facebook, and
all of our sponsor links. So you
click on
the sponsor's logo, and it will take you straight to their Facebook page or website.
Yep.
And then the Camelsburg Conservation Club. They have clay pigeon shoots on Friday nights, stillboard shoots on Saturdays. Yep, that's it. So I want to thank them. I want to thank all of them for helping us do what we do here at Struttin and Ruttin and making this happen. And a big thanks to Fresh Prince for our apparel.
Yep.
The store will be linked to our main website that we have created, so you can just another avenue to get on there. And we've always preached apparel and stuff, but there's a lot of variety on there. That's what we were talking about before the show, but it's cool that you can get on there and actually pick your color of your sweatshirt or T-shirt you want, where you want your logo, and then it drops ship straight to your house. So it's huge for us if people get on there and they order apparel through there because, we do make just a little bit of money on it. That way we can keep producing content. It helps us travel, helps us, keep producing what we were doing, which is huge for us. So make sure you get on there and buy a hat or a T-shirt or a sweatshirt, whatever. We appreciate it.
That's right.
What else we got going on? We just signed another year contract with Pride Outdoor Network, so we're pretty excited about that. So season 2 will be rolling on there probably sometime this summer.
Yep.
And
also, exciting news that we made happen tonight because I just double checked and everything is still running. But now all Thirsty Goat Entertainment shows, including Struttin and Ruttin with Hoosier Hardwoods Outdoors, will be streamed on multiple locations. So you can catch the shows on the Facebook page as you're used to. They're on the Thirsty Goat Twitter page or Twitter account. They are on the APR Podcast Studios Twitch account. And they are on the YouTube pages for Thirsty Goat Entertainment and Hoosier Hardwood. So
awesome.
Multiple locations you can watch there. The really cool thing about that, if you got a Roku, Apple TV, something with the YouTube app on your TV, you can now watch this live on your big screen in your living room every time
Sweet. You get to see me on the big screen on your TV.
They probably need the big screen.
Whatever.
Yeah, if they got a 65-incher, they might get kind of close.
You have to zoom in.
And that was the news.
Yeah. But thanks, Roller, for that. We really appreciate it. I can't thank Dustin and Ryan both for what they've done for us and, continue to support us and doing what we're doing and help pushing us forward. So thank you guys for that.
Yeah, it's big.
Do you guys have anything else tonight? I know tonight was kind of like we're going to have, what's going to be cool is, I know after tonight, our next episode, we're going to have hopefully some live
action.
No, we'll have some, not live, but we'll have some video
semi-live.
footage.
We'll call it semi-live.
Semi-live. We'll have some video footage from Florida.
Hopefully.
To break down.
Make sure you and Joe hit the record button this time.
I will hit the record button.
All right.
But we'll bring out the X's and O's next podcast, and we'll break down our Florida footage. So
good deal.
What we learned, because this will be my first trip to Florida, turkey hunting. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Joe's too, right?
Joe's too,
Yeah.
I have heard a bunch of people talking about when they go to Florida, take a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a strutter. Which, I mean, if you need one, I got one at the house.
Yep.
They said they're a different type of bird to hunt. Which they said every species is different in some way to hunt. But
they said some of the areas down there are thick with turkeys.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's like I remember when Matt Myers made that video when he went to Florida and killed his osceola. I mean, you ain't gonna see them till they're on you.
Right.
That's how thick it is.
It's
so
thick.
I mean,
Unless you could find a pasture, which I know. I'll think of his name, Zach Bowling.
Yeah.
I know he got lucky enough to be on a pasture hunting pasture fields, and he said that was the way to go if you could get
The deal that we got going on is Joe got hooked up with this guy that is part of a hunting club down there. So how that works down in Florida is there's 10 guys or whatever going on these hunting clubs, and there's a ton of acres.
Yeah.
Well, the cool part about it is Joe got hooked up with this guy, and they're allowed to take one person a piece on their hunting club. So this guy and I think it's his buddy or cousin or something is going to take me, and that guy's going to take Joe.
Yeah.
So it worked out pretty good to where we kind of like bartered and traded hunts, and and it's only $10 a day. So to hunt on that ground. So
can't beat that.
No, you can't.
So it's gonna be pretty exciting. So
I just hope y'all get some good content down there. It's gonna be sweet.
Well, and then
starting off the year with a bang right there.
Try not to get bit by a gator.
Yeah.
They used to know about rattlesnakes down there. Some kind of rattlesnake.
That or cottonmouth.
Let's be honest. You fighting a gator would be great
That'd be good content.
I mean, really, no matter who wins, it's still great content.
Yeah.
I think if I give him a headlock, it's over.
Yeah. I think.
But I gotta get there first.
I think you throw out one fudge round, Gator versus Matt, see who comes out.
Let's do it. I'm all for it. Take some electrical tape with me.
Yeah. Ain't that wild? You just
is.
put electrical tape around them, and they can't. I think that's nuts.
I think it's weird.
But when they go down,
yeah,
smash a watermelon.
I'd say more than a watermelon.
Yeah. You guys got anything else tonight?
Oh, I think we're good.
I'm good.
We appreciate everybody watching tonight. Share this out. Have a good night, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you.
See you. Thanks.